Hey guys, King of Trimanders here. Today I bring to you the best Odogaron guide. All attacks, tips, and tricks. So this is the complete guide for Odogaron. There's like multiple ways to pronunciate it. I say Odogaron just because that's how most of my friends say it. And this contains all of Odogaron's attack patterns. I will also include information of Odogaron's monster guide as there's a lot of good stuff in there, so stay tuned. And without further ado, let's go straight into Odogaron's monster guide. It is found in deserts and swamps, and its elemental attack, it has no element, it is raw. Its elemental weaknesses are ice and paralysis, and its breakable parts are the head, the forelegs, the tail, which is sever only, and its hind legs. Next, we have Odogaron's main characteristics. It is of the Fang Wyvern species, and it roams about in search of carcasses. That's pretty metal.
Crazy baby.
They have a habit of dragging their captured prey and hunks of meat back to their nest. Next up, we have Odogaron's useful information. It has short intervals between attacks. No, seriously, this thing will pass as the fastest monster in Monster Hunter Now right now as far as attacks goes. It's ridiculous. Strikes from its forelegs may cause you to bleed, leading you to take damage with each action taken. I'll put an example of that as for the tips and tricks, but bleed, if you keep moving or anything like that after you bleed, you will take damage and it will build up. So to prevent bleeding, break its forelegs as soon as possible. So break its forelegs. It's actually a lot harder than it looks because it moves around so much. And paralysis is effective as it provides a way to inhibit its rapid movements. Stunning it is great, which also allows you to lead to break its forelegs, which will allow you to prevent bleeding. And now without further ado, let's move on to its attacks. Odogaron's attacks number 1, the lunging bite. Odogaron will lunge at you and try to bite you. It has one signal. Odogaron will open its mouth before it lunges. You can dodge this by rolling left or right once. At number 2 for Odogaron's attacks, we have the double pounce. Odogaron will pounce at you and jump back to its original location. And has one signal. Odogaron will stand on its hind legs before it jumps. As you see, it's standing up high like it's a Lion King movie or something like that. Like, yeah. And you can dodge this by rolling left or right. And here's a note. As mentioned before, Odogaron will jump back in front of you after the first pounce. At number 3 for Odogaron's attacks, we have the claw swipe. Odogaron will swipe at you with one of its claws. And this has two signals, left or right. Odogaron will raise one of its claws in the air before it swipes. This attack is fast. You can dodge this by rolling left or right at the right timing. It's best to roll out the opposite side of the claw swipe. So again, this has two signals, left or right. It's going to swipe at you with either the left or right. So, roll accordingly. Also, here's a note. If you are hit by this attack, it will inflict bleeding. As you see in the example right here, you will start to bleed after this attack hits you. And at number 4, we have the pouncing claw swipe attack for Odogaron. Odogaron will pounce at you and swipe its claws in midair, as if one swiping claw attack wasn't enough. And here's one signal. Odogaron will squat back and jump in the air. You can dodge this by rolling left or right or backwards at the right timing. However, be careful of the distance between you and Odogaron. As you see here, just be really careful, because if you are hit by this attack, it will inflict bleeding. So again, just be very careful of your timing. And at number 5 for Odogaron's attacks, we have the claw smash. Odogaron will try to smash you with one of its claws, and has one signal. Odogaron will stand on its hind legs and open its mouth. As you see here, it's on its hind legs, standing really high up with its mouth open. You can dodge this by rolling left or right. And here's a note. This is probably the easiest of Odogaron's attacks you can dodge, so hopefully it uses this attack a lot when you fight it. And at number 6, the signature tail swing for Odogaron. Odogaron will try to hit you with its tail, and has one signal. Odogaron will look back and raise its tail in the air. You can dodge this by rolling left or right at the right timing or backwards. Notice how I don't actually have footage of me dodging this. This is because I've literally been trying to force it to use this attack, and I can't do it other than this time to save my life. So this attack is pretty rare. But because I've dodged so many tail swings before, it's really easy to dodge. I just didn't have the right timing at this moment. And at lucky number 7 for Odogaron's attacks, we have the roar at number 7. And it has one signal. Odogaron will open its mouth and shake its head before it lets out the roar. You can dodge this by rolling at the perfect time, and thankfully for us, This attack does no damage, so Odogaron has a roar which doesn't actually do any damage with you and serves a purpose to stun you and run the clock. Moving forward, here's my Odogaron tips and tricks. If you get hit with the status effect bleeding, it will clear when you see a green flash around your character, as you see here. Bleeding will stack damage the more you move, so after you're inflicted with bleeding, if you keep moving, it's going to stack damage. As you see, your bar will start showing red, so be very careful. Also, breaking its forelegs will prevent it from using the claw attacks that inflict bleeding. Unfortunately, it's so dang fast, so even trying to break its forelegs is a giant pain, even if you're using lock-on. And Odogaron is extremely fast, so it may take a bit of practice to get the timing down for its attacks. No, seriously, this boy is fast. It is super fast, even if not being an 8-star, and it's going to take a lot of time and practice before you get used to it. Sometimes Odogaron will walk around you and stalk you, like you can see this example right here. This leaves it open to attacks for a brief time. It's like the hyena scene from The Lion King if you've ever watched it. Hopefully this video helps you take down this extremely fast large monster. I'm still practicing trying to take out Odogaron. As you see here, in this battle I will get hit by this thing and have to use a potion. Potions are meant to be used and it's practice, so yeah. But hopefully, again, this guy does help you out. Please do me a huge favor though, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully you're already roasting a ton of Odogarons and you're building those sweet weapons and armor you want to use for this season and beyond. Again, good luck on your grinds. Hopefully you get all the rarity 6s and taking all of my energy so that you get all of that. And I will see y'all on the next video.